Hello, everybody, from Northgate High School. It's the Battle of the Creek. Anthony Schultz along with Michael Hoffer. Tonight, women's soccer here tonight. And so far for Northgate, it's their first match of the season, Michael. But Las Lomas off to a nice start at 2-0.
Yeah, I'm impressed with both teams so far. I know the coaches all very well. I think they'll do a good job in their first game. There's a little bit of rain, so it's going to be a little bit cold, which is unexpected. But I think they'll have some success.
Yeah, cold and blustery night. Let's talk about the goalies a little bit. First, for Las Lomas, Carolyn Runco, we know she's tough, and she gets to everything.
Important in this game. Sometimes the difference to have a good goalkeeper. I think both of them are pretty good.
Yeah, Chanel Hines on the other side missed all of last year, but she's back this year and in goal tonight for the Broncos.
Yeah, it'll be her first year in the varsity team, so we'll be looking for from the Northgate team to be a big, strong goalkeeper there.
All right, we're just about to get underway. We'll take a break and be back with the start of tonight's game right after this.
Got a problem? A discarded cigarette is a big problem. Cigarette butts are toxic and don't biodegrade. They travel in storm drains to end up harming our water supply and poisoning wildlife. But running this problem out of town is easy. Take a stand. Put cigarette butts where they belong. Keep Walnut Creek clean.
Sarah Chen, number 14, center back. Madeline Olson, number 4, center mid. Shannon Del Porto, 21, center defender. Mackenzie Patterson, 24, outside mid. Carolyn Runco, number 56, goalie. My name is Sydney Abrahamian, number 4, and I play forward. Haley Brown, 19, center mid. My name is Gabby Brown, number 10, forward. Cameron Ernst, number 6, outside forward and outside back. Colleen Donahue, number 7, center midfield. Sean Phillips, number 26, outside defense. I'm Anna Height, I'm number 28, I play center defender. Do I go? Oh, Nicole Thorpe, number 17, forward. I'm Victoria Scalfaro, number 5, and I'm a keeper. I'm Spencer Wagner, number 16, center forward. Cameron Chan, number 3, defender. I'm Kelsey Shaw, I'm number 18, I play forward.
Megan Laporta, number 13, defensive mid.
Lauren Bradley, number 15, center mid. Hi, my name is Caitlin McLeod, I'm number 12, and I play forward. Sadie Maeda, number 8, and I play Brian! My name is Catherine August, number 11, and I play center forward. My name is Jacqueline Cashman, 0, and I'm a keeper. Hi, I'm Megan Schoen, I'm number 13, I play center mid. Hi, my name is Lauren Bala, I'm number 8, and I play outside forward. Hi, I'm Marissa Mortal, number 7, and I'm a forward.
Rachel Free, 22, forward.
Michaela Bisagno, number 21, defender. Julie Vasquez, number 3, forward. Hi, I'm Gabrielle Helikas, I'm number 11, and I play center mid. I'm Caroline Lamro, number 1, and I'm a center midfielder. I'm Holly Fleck, number 20, and I play outside mid.
Hi, I'm Zoe Raymer, I'm 19, and I play center back.
Hi, I'm Julie Epstein, I'm number 15, and I play in the midfield.
Hi, I'm Val Werfel, number 6, and I play center mid and forward. 14, and goalkeeper.
Hi, I'm Dejona Gargan, number 9. I play
Hi, I'm Rebecca Dong. I'm number 3 and I play defense. Hi, I'm Jessica Dong. I'm number 5 and I play defense.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Northgate High School. Anthony Schultz and Michael Hoffert. And Michael, just about set to get underway here. Not exactly the best night to be outside. And I kind of almost wishing they played a little indoor soccer these days.
It's a little cold. I think it might be a little bit of an adjustment for the players.
It's one of those, a winter sport, outdoors, and they play in shorts. The ladies got to be tough tonight, but just about set to kick off. Las Lomas in their travel burgundy and Northgate in their home white. Nice start for Las Lomas, 2-0 on the early part of the season. Northgate playing their first match of the year. As the ball is kicked out of bounds, it'll go the other way, and Northgate will have a throw-in on the far side. Our referees tonight, the center will be Nick Avignon, Alex Cross, and Roy Kiesler. We'll round out the trio calling the action on the field.
Northgate looks like they're in 4 backs. They look like they've got 3 across the midfield, or maybe 4, and looks like they got 1 up top. Las Lomas, a similar type system. Looks like they've got 3 in the midfield and 3 up top, kind of playing all over the place.
And here goes Las Lomas onto the offensive end. Catherine August, who has 3 goals, number 11, had that ball momentarily. Now this is going to go out of bounds. And for Las Lomas, the mentality really has been score and score as often as possible and really kind of throw caution to the wind a little bit. Tell me they're quite an aggressive team. Here's a throw in from that far side.
Looks like they're committing a lot of players forward. They've got 2 playing back. They've got their midfield going up, and looks like they're committing to going to the attack tonight.
Which is nice for you viewers who'd like to see goals because they certainly have been able to score this year. This one gets down there, but easily picked up by the goalie. You can see that rain coming in fairly strong right now.
Yeah, the field's going to be slick. The artificial turf is slick, so the balls that are going to go forward are going to slide a little bit. You're going to see the goalkeepers probably get a lot of work tonight.
And Caroline Runco, it was an easy chance for Caroline. Injured for about a year, D1 potential recruit. Tell me that she saves everything, and really the Monday of their first game against Deer Valley this year, she was cleared to play that day, and at 6 o'clock that evening, she was ready to go.
And in soccer, definitely in the high school soccer, your good players are going to be really important to have. There are a couple always on every team that are really good, so you want to make sure that they're healthy throughout the year, and it could make a difference for a team.
Kicked back to Caroline that time, and I admit that she started to lean over. I thought she was going to grab that ball, and can't do that. Not when it's kicked back to you like that.
Yeah, well, sometimes the goalkeepers like to kind of deke the forwards and make it look like they're going to pick it up. See if you can slide them down.
Out of bounds it goes on the far side, and a throw in here for Las Lomas in their defensive end. Quick toss intercepted there by Northgate. And the Broncos going 1-on-2 there. Now take it away again. And Las Lomas struggling to clear this ball right now. Ladies jousting for it. And then coming over here to the near side. Punched away here by Northgate. They're playing 2-on-1. And that was off of Nicole Thorpe, number 17. And this one's going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the Broncos. And Las Lomas will get to throw it in here from the near side.
Looks like we've got good initial pressure from the forwards of Northgate, pressuring those backs, not letting them out of the back so easily. But it looks like Las Lomas is looking through to play through number 19 right at the top.
Here we go. There's a joust for it down there. The Broncos had a player very near the goal. That was number 7, Marissa Myrtle, the junior forward. She had a defender right in front of her that time, but it's awfully close to the goal. Kind of danger zone that time for Las Lomas, and it looks like it's going to be a corner kick here for the Broncos. First corner kick for either team so far.
Yeah, important chances. These are sometimes the difference in the game.
Corner kick, headed away. Booted in and just wide to the right.
Yeah, often you see in these games the difference is these corner kicks. How to defend them is very difficult, and if you're starting to push players forward, this could be the early goal that Northgate's looking for.
So another corner kick. Again, it'll be Megan Schoen, the junior mid, and then this one's going to be knocked away. They're going to chase it to the far side. So a couple of early chances here for Northgate, chased down by Julia Vasquez, the senior forward. Now they get it back out to midfield, and so far this year the Las Lomas Knights have been very aggressive, and he talked about how many players they were getting forward, but the early chances so far going to the Broncos.
Yeah, knowing these coaches very well, they're both attack-minded coaches, especially Jeremy Hull from Las Lomas. Likes to commit a lot of players forward, likes to play quickly. I think his Las Lomas team is exemplifying that for sure.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Kelly earlier in the week, he told me they're going to play a 4-1-2-3, the 4 defenders, 1 defensive midfielder, 2 attacking mids, and 3 forwards. Just, Michael, maybe you could tell me what sort of the strategy behind that type of alignment.
It looks if 4 backs is a pretty general way anywhere in this in soccer, and then the 1 holding midfielder is kind of a defensive type midfielder that tends to be a distributor. The other players pushing forward, the 2 up in as attacking midfielders, might help against this 4-3-3.
And this one is going to count for Northgate as they get on the board first. Well, a goal for Northgate. I have to look again to see who scored that goal. And Lauren Vala, the junior forward, gets the first goal here at the 33-36 mark.
Yeah, Lauren Vala, I've seen her play. I saw her play last week, and it seemed like she's putting a lot of work in the high school off season. She's a threat up top.
Well, she's a threat here tonight, that's for sure, as Northgate gets on the scoreboard. They had the earlier corner kicks. They had 2 of those. And they get back down to the offensive end here, and Vala able to make this one count. It's 1-0 in favor of the Broncos. So a good way to start for them.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good formation switch by Coach Mike Kelly. The Las Lomas team has 3 through the midfield, and with the holding midfielder for Northgate and the other players pushed up a little bit behind them, it's going to allow that space to really be exploited in behind their Las Lomas midfielders.
So here's Northgate back on the attack again, surrounded by burgundy jerseys. This one taken away, wrestled away nicely there by Las Lomas. That was Megan Della Porta, leader in goals last year for the Knights, and she has scored already this year as well. She got her goal against Ignacio Valley.
It looks like they're trying to push forward quickly. This is what Northgate's trying to stop a little bit with their holding midfielder to make sure that they don't counterattack so quickly, because Las Lomas seems to be transitioning very well once they get the ball.
Here's one coming to the near side, a little bit too far as the Broncos give chase down there. And it looked like Julie Vasquez, number 3, giving chase down there, unable to get to it. Kicked out of bounds by the Broncos. And I believe it'll be a throw-in for the Knights. That one off the crossbar there, very nearly a goal. And now we've got an injury here, and he's down for Las Lomas. And that was number 8, Sadie Miata. On the ground, they'll check on Sadie here to make sure she's all right.
A great cross came from the outside. A couple of chances, a couple blocks, the ball off the post, the ball back over the goal. That's good pressure from Northgate.
Northgate very nearly had the second goal of the game. Very fortunate that time by the Knights. And the Knights really the team that last year and this year they've been hitting the post a lot. And Coach Hull told me that last year they may have made the NCS over Miromani, and some of those post shots actually gone in instead of bounced out. But tonight they are beneficiaries of the ball drawing iron instead of net. Here's Northgate back on the attack. This ball is spending a lot of time, and that was a nice crossover that time. Going down low, trying to get it to a teammate down low. That was very close to being another excellent chance here for the Broncos. So right now, Michael, if you can say, the Broncos dominating play here in this early going.
They look confident. They look confident. Sometimes that happens with the first goal. When you get that first goal, things seem to work out a lot better for you when you get in the game.
Certainly gets that momentum in your favor. Here are the Broncos playing with it on the back line. Northgate looks like they want to attack. So a couple of corner kicks and a goal for Lauren Vala at 33-36 of the first half. And one that hit the crossbar, and then another shot that looked like they had another good chance. So really all the chances have been for Northgate thus far.
Yes, similar tactics from both teams playing through their midfield. It's pretty crowded in there right now. I think as the game goes on, we'll start to see it spread out a little bit. But right now it's going through the midfield for both teams.
Here goes the Knights back the other way, trying to find some room. Working with it on the far side of the field, dumping it in. Bodies collide. Bronco hits the ground. And now we're going to have a whistle that's going to go against Las Lomas, so the Broncos will get it. Now Chanel Hines in goal tonight for Mike Kelly's Broncos. Didn't play last year. Good shot blocker. She's kind of been standing there almost all by herself. One ball did roll to her, Michael, but that was about it. So far, she's just trying to stay warm. This one going to go over the end line.
Yeah, it looks like Las Lomas is great from the back through the midfield. They're having a little bit of trouble once they get into the attacking third. That's a struggle for a lot of teams, but it might open up for them as the game goes on.
So far for the DFAL, Dublin's 3-0, Alhambra 2-0, Las Lomas at 2-0. They beat, take a look at their log, over Deer Valley 3-2, and then a 3-0 winner back in December the 4th against Ignacio Valley. So far 6 goals, and you've given up just 2. Things certainly going their way in this early part of the season. They get the Broncos obviously today, and then December the 11th they'll be in Moraga to take on Camp Alindo.
Camp Alindo, always a good team. I think this is probably one of the stronger areas for soccer in the country, especially for the girls. I think all the teams have lots of strength. There's always top-level Division I talents on most teams, and so there's a lot of parity with that.
And I was informed about Caroline Runco as you talk about that D1 potential, that she is certainly that. So no shortage of talent here on the field. Ladies battle for it on that far side.
Yeah, I think the players are struggling a little bit with just the slickness of the field. I think they're used to playing on the turf, but I think they're definitely not used to playing in the rain.
Well, one thing about you coach Mustang soccer, so you do club, and obviously the ladies they got to get used to playing in all types of weather. They play all year around.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit of a kind of a learning curve when you come into the high school when you're playing in winter. They play all summer tournaments all over the place, mostly on grass, and I think when they come into the high school season, it's a little bit of a struggle to play at night under lights with with usually a little bit colder weather, but they seem to be dealing with it pretty well. I mean, they've got their gloves on, so.
It just seems to me that would be like when you look out there, it's like maybe they need warmer apparel.
You would think, and for us sitting up here, it's great, and anybody sitting in the stands, they're bundled up. But I guess when you start to get moving, it kind of works out for you.
All right, a throw in here coming up for Northgate. Charlotte Bircher, the sophomore, tossing it in and back out of bounds it goes. So apparently the World Cup 2014, something we could banter about a little bit. The group of death, the United States, along with Germany, Portugal, and Ghana. I've been hearing a lot about that and all the talent that goes with those teams.
Yeah, Germany's a top 3 team in the world most times, most years. So they're going to be probably the toughest team. One of probably 3 or 4 teams that people think really have a chance to win it. And then Ghana always gives the U.S. a tough match. They played them in the last World Cup as well.
Bounce back to Caroline, an easy handle for her. She boots it away. Of course, nothing gets people more fired up about soccer than does the World Cup. And I was talking to Coach Hull earlier, and he said the ratings are just figuring out what team was going to go where. And apparently the ratings around the world were Super Bowl-esque, he was telling me.
Yeah, it's the biggest deal before the Cup starts about who you're playing. It could affect how you play and how you end up.
This one is going to go wide to the right, a diving play there, and that was a very close play that time for Las Lomas as they're trying to get on the board. And Chanel Hines got her first test so far, had to dive to her left, but that was just a little wide to the right for Las Lomas.
This could be the first chance for Las Lomas. I know Northgate had a little bit of trouble at certain times last year defending these corner kicks, which aren't the easiest. And we've got some big girls out there for Las Lomas, which I think will challenge.
Corner kick for Las Lomas. Onto the ground it goes, so nobody gets a chance to put a head on that. Comes back out. They get it back out to midfield, but there's the Knights to keep it in. And you think of those corner kicks, I'm always thinking the best thing is you're trying to get it to a teammate so they can put a head on the ball to start it with, I would think, right?
You want to put a little pressure on the goalkeeper, especially with the Northgate goalkeeper. She's not the biggest, so you put a little pressure on her with somebody attacking straight at her. It becomes a difficult prospect.
So a couple of corner kicks for the Broncos. That was the first one for Las Lomas on the evening.
You can kind of see the game change just a little bit as soon as Las Lomas gets a little bit of attack. They've got a little bit more fervor in the midfield, and Northgate's a little bit more frantic now.
6 goals already for them in those 2 games. Catherine August had 3. Megan Della Porta, she got a goal. Emma Height, she hit the post versus Deer Valley, scored against Ignacio Valley.
You can see it in Las Lomas. They have the attacking players. You can see skilled players on the ball, quick, strong, and you can see that they're attack-minded.
Here's Marissa Myrtle able to kick it out to the side. That's going to go out of bounds, unfortunately, as she was looking for a teammate on that far side. And now a throw in here for the Broncos as they get set to toss it in. Broncos leading it 1-0 here on a Lauren Vala first half goal. And that's where we stand, 1-0 in favor of the home team.
Yeah, you can even see it on the throw-ins. You can notice that Las Lomas picked that ball up, went in quick. They're looking to transition fast.
And that one's going to be out of bounds. And another throw-in here for the Knights. Headed up in the air by the Broncos. And sometimes just the ball's down there, and you think that the team that's got it on the offensive end, Mike, has an advantage, but all of a sudden there's just a cluster of people, and you can't really get a good swing on the ball.
It's true. Sometimes you can get the ball out quickly. If you find the right passes out of the back line into your midfield and up to the forward line, you'll come with a good transition, which will get you out. And Las Lomas team might have so many players forward that they kind of end up with numbers down in the back.
Ladies jostle for it here on the near side. Out of bounds it goes. And the Broncos will have a chance to throw it in. Val Worthful, one of the Northgate girls, 10 goals and 8 assists last year as the attacking mid or center forward. Talk about one of the more dangerous players on this team. Last year she was a holding midfielder, and they really want her to be an attacking midfielder, more upfield this year.
Yeah, Val's not shy. She likes to go forward, and it's you need players like that on the field. I think she creates a lot with a couple dribbles.
And here goes Northgate, but now a whistle stops play.
Not exactly sure. Maybe it's a foul.
Well, it wasn't offsides. I know that.
You can see the referee explaining to everybody what happened because nobody seemed to know.
In any event, kicking it in here for Las Lomas, Emma Height, number 20. As play resumes. And out of bounds again, still going to belong to Las Lomas as they'll be able to toss it in here from the far side. Dejiana Darjan, another center back, smart, athletic player. Another player that gets herself in the right position, good instincts, and good recovery speed. And it seems like when you talk about soccer, Michael, obviously that good footwork on the ball, but speed seems of paramount importance here in this game.
Yeah, it's probably the first thing that we see as coaches is you're looking for somebody with a little bit of pace. Now, if they can run with the ball too, it's really great. And Dejiana is one of those players. Looks like they're playing on the left back tonight, which may allow her to get into the attack.
That was a pretty move that time by Val Werfel, the aforementioned Val Werfel. This ball gets kicked back the other way, but looked like she had her back to a defender and then made a nice quick move to her right. Good footwork to get away, and then kind of an explosive little move to get past the defender, but then unfortunately she runs into several more burgundy shirts.
Yeah, she seems good in small spaces. I think she's an important player for this Northgate team going forward.
There's Runco going down, able to corral that one. So Caroline Runco, she's getting a lot of work here so far. Giving up the one goal, and she's been on the ground a couple of times.
Now, sometimes you can just send a ball in, a little bit, we call it a searching ball, just searching for something to happen, just like Las Lomas tried to do there. They just didn't have anybody forward.
This went back to Chanel, so Chanel's got herself a little action going too, but one shot that went to her left forced her to dive. Everything else has been fairly easy for Miss Hines so far in this first half. They're going to fight for it near here, the sideline. Back to the center, taken away. Nice that time by Della Porta, number 13. And there's Donahue kicking it back out to the center. Ladies jostling for position. Almost dumps it in, and here's the Knights with a little bit of room there momentarily, and then she's going to dump this one in.
It doesn't seem like as they're committing as many players forward. I think the momentum has shifted just a little bit to where Las Lomas has been a little bit more cautious on the attack than they were at the beginning of the match.
You could see that when they dumped that ball in, they had one offensive player surrounded by two, maybe three white shirts, which really doesn't give you a whole lot of chance. And they certainly earlier in the game, Michael, they had many more of the burgundy shirts forward.
Yeah, they're playing free through the forwards and the midfielders. They have opportunities to overlap. The midfielders are getting to the attack. It looks like they've got the three across the top somewhat, but I think the freedom from the coaching staff, from Coach Hull over at Las Lomas, to get into the attack and be creative. I think that's what they're looking for, is to really overload Northgate.
Well, I talked to him earlier. He said, hey, we're a team that we're looking to score right now, and we'd rather win a game 5-4 than 1-0. So we're playing like that earlier, but those last couple of trips down the field, it seemed like they had kind of pulled back a little bit. We're a bit more conservative, as you said.
It's a good way to play, especially in these high school games. A lot of times that the more aggressive team gets a little bit more chances, and usually if the ball's closer to the other team's goal, you have a little bit more chances as well.
And I would think, Michael, just with with the boys and in higher levels of soccer, with the ability to kick the ball into an offensive position from the back, that's kind of a situation. If you are too aggressive and you have too many people forward, I mean, one guy can just kind of kick the ball, and all of a sudden the other team going the other way is quickly on offense. With the girls, it's a little bit tougher. They just don't kick the ball as far.
That's true. There's a lot of different schools of thought as far as styles of playing. They're the most popular in the recent years, because of Spain's dominance, was a lot of possession in the game, treating it like a chess match. And there's a little bit more direct style. Like if you watch the difference between Barcelona and Real Madrid in Spain, Real Madrid tends to be a little bit more direct, play it forward to their really strong players, and see what they can do by themselves. Whereas you see from Barcelona or Spanish national team, where they really like to kill you with 100 passes or 1,000 passes and kind of lull you to sleep and then find the space.
Our camera shot just gave us a shot of the rain coming through the lights, and when you look at it from that vantage point, it looks like it's really pouring. But as Michael and I look down in the field, I mean, it looks wet and misty, but it doesn't look like it's raining all that hard. More of a drizzle, a misty kind of a rain so far here tonight.
Yeah, just enough to slick the turf, so girls might have a little bit of trouble, but they seem to have adjusted now. You can see that after a few minutes into the game, they've gotten used to it.
All right, Las Lomas will have a chance to throw it in. So the Lauren Vala goal so far standing up. 3 corner kicks so far in the game haven't produced a goal so far. 2 for Northgate, 1 for the Knights. And one thing I see when I watch soccer is when some of these back row defenders are passing the ball. Sometimes turnovers in soccer don't seem to mean anything or mean as much, but then all of a sudden if you turn it over in the back row a lot, all of a sudden that can be instant offense for the other team.
Yeah, you sort of have to weigh as a back the risk versus reward. If you make a pass across the face of the goal or to change the point of attack through the back line, whether it's going to get cut off or how accurate you can be.
Knights kicking it down, trying to get into the offensive end, and right now, the last several minutes, the ball spending a lot of time in the middle of the field as both defenses playing pretty well. And here go the Knights going forward. Hines going to come out of the goal and pick it up. So Chanel Hines making the good decision there. She did have an offensive player bearing down on her for Las Lomas. That was Catherine August. She of the 3 goals scored this year. But you talk about goalie play, and one of those things that a goalie has to do. Obviously, got to be quick. You want to be able to jump and do all those things and be able to get to the ball. But knowing when to stay in and when to come out of the goal, obviously, another big important thing for a goalie to know.
Probably the most difficult part of being a goalkeeper.
Kicking somebody and trying to sort of center this one up for Northgate. Goes right through the wickets that time. That was Diajana Darjan. And that one go right through the wickets that time and out of bounds.
Yeah, you can see her getting forward now. She's playing the left back position, and you can see the overlapping run gets her forward, plays more Northgate players into the attack, tries to overload the backs of Las Lomas.
Well, Northgate last year, good season for them, set a single-season goal record. They scored 50 goals a year ago, and averaged just a hair over 2 a game, which is pretty good. Goals are tough to come by, and they were able to score regularly last year.
Yeah, and they actually look better this year than even last year. And they had a great run in NCS, and they barely lost to the best team, Bishop O'Dowd, in the Division Two. They took them down, and they have some national team players on that squad. So
Campolindo, awesome a year ago, 16 wins overall, 11-1 in the DVAL. Ignacio Valley, a good year. They won 17 times, 9-3 in league a year ago. Northgate came in fourth, 11-7-6 overall. Just 5-4-3 in the DVAL, but when you got a couple teams like Campolindo and Ignacio Valley, it's pretty tough sledding.
Yeah, they're a pretty even league. I think there's a couple players that definitely make the difference on those teams. I think going head-to-head with those teams really kind of shows you kind of the talent of what goes on in this Bay Area.
Throw in here on the offensive end here for the Broncos. We'll see if they can turn this into something. Oh, a nice job that time by Las Lomas to keep that one in play. Taken away by the Knights. Can they get it forward? Kick down, let the girls run for it. There's Shannon Delaporta, number 21, giving chase down there, but all of a sudden had two defenders right next to her, unable to get away.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a positioning change as she was playing in the attacking role in the center of the midfield, and now she's been pushed out to the left side. This could be trouble for the right back at Northgate. She looks to be a good 1v1 player. Northgate, this is the sub, wasn't the starter, so you can see where they would try to exploit that.
So far in those two games for Las Lomas, obviously better in both games. The Deer Valley did hit a penalty kick against them, and YV really got no opportunities at all as the Knights were really able to clamp down on them. We talked about hitting the post. Coach Hull was, a little like every game we just seemed to hit the post, and actually today the Northgate had one off the crossbar, so maybe some of that fortune is starting to turn around a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes as a player, if you hit it well enough and you hit the post, you feel good about it. Not if your team's losing, though.
Yeah. Still about 9.5 to go. And, of course, they'll likely add some time. We've had a couple of stoppages, but not many.
Yeah, you can see her isolated 1v1 out here. You can see how this could be trouble.
That was a pretty move that time. Gabrielle Brown able to get away and make a nice spin move, but again, just outnumbered when she gets into the offensive end. But you saw a really good move playing back to the defender and able to swing that around. And we saw Val Werfel do that earlier for Northgate. And that's one of those plays that just it reminds me, Michael, almost of a basketball play, back to your the back to the basket, making that kind of spin. But in basketball, there's usually not a couple more defenders waiting for you when you're playing in the post. But here, you make that move, and you've got to be really quick because you're going to be outnumbered as an offensive player when you get into the offensive end.
Yeah, the first player is usually fairly easy to get by for a skilled player. It's the second and third that become a little bit more difficult.
There's a knife move. Bodies banged together, and here goes Las Lomas. Looks like they're trying to hurry this one ahead.
Yeah, it looks like they need to push forward a little bit more. I think they're starting their attack from a little bit too far back. Just when they played out to the left side here, if she could have received the ball closer to the goal a little bit, get the opportunity to take the left back or the right back 1v1, they might get a little bit more chances. But they seem a little far away to start.
And a throw in here for Northgate. Upcoming games here on Walnut Creek TV. January the 9th, we'll have boys soccer. Clayton Valley Charter against Northgate. That'll be here. And then January the 11th, we'll have boys hoops. Northgate at Las Lomas, the Battle of the Creek. So those are the upcoming games on Walnut Creek TV. You want to check that out. Walnut Creek TV. TV comes home. You can catch us on Comcast Channel 28, Channel 26, and Rossmore, Astound Channel 29, and on AT&T UVerse Channel 99. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Check us out, Walnut Creek TV. Broncos able to play this one to the side. Ball gets away here. That'll roll out of bounds, and the Knights will get a chance to throw this one in.
This looks calculated from Coach Hull. They're going after the right back. They've pushed her out. They've attacked down that side 3 or 4 times. To good adjustment.
You know, all things considered with the weather here tonight, and just the fact that it's winter and like getting dark so early, just everybody kind of wants to stay in a little more, sleep a little more this time of year. Pretty decent crowd out here tonight.
Not too bad. Well, I have a feeling that a lot of these players play together, and a lot of their parents know each other. So, being from across the town, I think they're excited about this game. You can definitely tell with the girls.
Crosstown rivalry.
They're ready to play today.
Coach Mike Kelly in his second season at the helm. Played at club DVSC, now called Diablo SC, Clayton, Concord, Martinez area. Played here at Northgate, a 2001 graduate. This one kicked down. Runco will come out and handle that one.
Won a national championship at Sonoma State as well.
Yeah, played at Sonoma State, semi-pro, the Sonoma County Soul, and told me he had a cup of coffee with the Quakes, played in a reserve match for the Quakes against the Galaxy. So a little taste of that the high level of soccer.
It's true. He's a good player. I know him well. He's probably even a better coach. So I think Northgate's happy to have him. I know when he came on last year, it was a good thing for them.
You know, one thing he told me, Michael, about talking about the alignment that he was working with, and he talked about the responsibility, you know, for the back line, the organization. He said the shape, sort of when they attack. Describe that for me, the shape, like depending upon where the ball is, where the players are positioned.
Well, there's usually in any formation you're looking to attack a certain way. Sometimes you defend one way and your team looks one way. And then when you attack, you might change that up a little bit, and that's what they're talking about with the shape. It's how your team is set up as you attack or defend, and if you can maintain somewhat of the tactics of what you're looking for, rather than be out there kind of all over the place.
Ah, the chess match of sports. Yeah. And now the rain really started to come down, and now that Las Lomas side a little upset about that last call. We're going to get a free kick here for Northgate as they boot this one down. Runco, it's going to be wide left for Northgate. Runco had it, lost it, and that'll go past the goal line there.
Yeah, well, most of these players were taught to shoot low, especially on a slick turf, so the ball can skip a little bit, and I think that's where the goalkeeper had a little bit of trouble there.
So that one going over the goal line, as Runco couldn't handle it, so this will be corner kick number 3 coming up for the Broncos. And I believe that's Megan Schoen, number 13 over there. Here she comes, puts this one into the air. Northgate gets a head on it, but goes back the other way. Now the ladies battle for it, and Las Lomas able to kick this one out, so Las Lomas survives that one. Oh! Nearly got away from one defender, and here come the rest of her mates.
And here's this counterattack that we were talking about earlier.
Well, that was Catherine August, number 11, Michael, and I thought initially if she was able to get away from that one defender, the Knights really had something going there.
Yeah, the hardest thing is that last pass, that thing that really creates everything, and I think they just missed that. It was slowed down a little bit in the midfield, and maybe if she made a quicker decision, she would have a little bit more success. But I think Northgate closed down well. They transitioned well defensively.
So 3 corner kicks for the Broncos. They've not really even yielded a shot on goal for that, so credit the Knights for shutting that down. This one going to go out of bounds. But you talked about the way Las Lomas was able to counter and very quickly able to look like they had something going, but credit the Broncos, as you said, for shutting down the attack of the Knights.
Yeah, it looks like you can see the backs from Las Lomas pushing up now. I think if they started a little bit higher, I think their counterattack would be a little bit shorter and they wouldn't have to run with the ball so long. I think that's kind of what's hurting them as far as getting chances actually on the goal. And you can see Northgate's playing a pretty high line.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Hull, as I said, he said the mentality is to score right now. The 3-2 win and a 3-0 win in the first 2 games. And he said they really overwhelmed College Park in a scrimmage. And I call, I guess, a bit of a blitzkrieg attack where you're not necessarily worried. You're going to play defense, but you kind of throw caution to the wind a little bit. But the strategy's kind of been there tonight, and he's kind of taken it away a little bit.
Yeah, you can see that Las Lomas is trying to isolate their really good attacking players. That'll allow them to really make a difference. As you can see, again, she's receiving the ball 40 yards from goal, which isn't allowing her to really give a chance.
Gabrielle Brown, number 10, playing with it here on the near side. And for Gabby, created all 6 goals and really, wins in the corner and able to get the ball to teammates. And this one crossed, trying to center it for a teammate that's going to go out of bounds. But all the goals scored so far this season for Las Lomas, even though Gabrielle hasn't put one in the net, she's certainly had a hand, or I should say a foot in this case, in every one of those goals that they've scored.
I think right from the first whistle, she seems to be the facilitator of the team. You can see that she was offside at that point, but better for her to be closer to the goal to really give them chances to score rather than see her show her skill in the midfield.
Oh, this one's going to hop up off a Knights player and go out of bounds. Looks like that was Sean Phillips, number 26, the junior, and kind of hopped a little higher than she thought it was going to. And that is going to do it for the first half. So Lauren Vallis' goal at 33-36 so far, holding up for Northgate, looking for their first win in their first match of the season. And so far, 1-0 in favor of the home team. We'll be back for the second half right after this.
Parking made easy and convenient.
You're good to go.
Now that was easy.
Hi, welcome to Inside Center Rep.
My name is Carrie Lederer, and I'm the curator of exhibitions here at the Bedford Gallery.
Hi there, welcome to Get Lit.
And that's when I decided to run for the city council.
So exciting.
Northern California's largest community arts program is here in Walnut Creek.
We have over 180 professionals teaching music, dance, drama, and visual arts.
with over 680 classes, workshops, and events.
There are classes for youth, teens, and adults.
With opportunities for beginners through professionals.
Find your spark.
Learn, inspire, grow.
All right, back at Northgate High School, a fresh 40 minutes on the clock. Anthony Schultz here with Michael Hoffert. An exciting first half especially for the Northgate Broncos, who got that goal from Lauren Vala at 33-36 of the first half. They lead at 1-0. Ladies back on the field. And there is Coach Mike Kelly. And you can see how wet he is. Everybody trying to stay dry down there. Good luck. But an interesting first half of play. Michael, I thought Las Lomas came out fairly aggressive to start, kind of backed off a little bit, but really the better chances went to the Northgate Broncos.
I think you'll see the two really great coaches. I think we'll see some adjustments. They're going to change their mentality a little bit. I think there might be some tactical adjustments that'll happen at halftime. I'm sure that's what they talked about. You can see it's gotten a little bit colder. The rain's coming down a little bit harder. The wind's picked up a little bit. So, but the energy's still there from both teams.
Well, the more you talk about it, the colder I get, and we're inside.
Luckily, we're inside.
You hear the crowd really getting into this. Now a whistle stopping play.
Yeah, it looks like the Las Lomas student section showed up. So I think we've got some fans over there.
Yes, we do. A lot more people over there on the other side. This one going to go out of bounds on that far side. And you got to hand it to the fans. And we take a look at them here, Michael, and they are braving the elements right now because the wind has definitely picked up. It's raining much harder than it was earlier. And the fans getting more boisterous here this evening.
Yeah, but it only helps the players. I remember as a high school player, it was nice to have your friends there. Made you play a little harder.
It does. When you hear the crowd cheering, it gets you fired up. No doubt about that.
Yeah, I know these girls really love. They look forward to their high school season, playing for their school. It's really important to all these players.
But you talked about some of the talent here in the D1 prospects, and I guess when you have so many players playing year-round, they can't help but to get better and to get so much better with all those skills.
Yeah, there's D1 prospects out here. There's D2 prospects, D3, NAIA. There's a lot of these girls will go and play in college if they choose to.
Get back to Hines, and there's simple chance for Chanel. She's had a few of those tonight. She has not really been challenged. I can say, that one shot, it was really not a shot on goal, but it did at least force her to dive to her left. But other than that, it's been fairly routine for Chanel in goal this evening.
I think that's what we'll see in the second half. I think probably Coach Holt talked about it, about getting a little bit closer to the goal, putting a little bit more pressure on the Northgate backs.
Well, this one going right down.
You can see Las Lomas. You can see Las Lomas has 4 players up right now, and you can see the willingness to get up there. I'm sure that's what they talked about at halftime.
So for the Knights, trying to keep their record to 3-0, and the Broncos trying to get their season off to a good start.
Yeah, it looks like they also talked about getting a little bit tougher out there. The game's ramped up a little bit. I think Las Lomas doesn't like being down 1 goal.
There was, so much other soccer going on. The Major League Soccer, of course, by the time you see this, you'll know the outcome of Sporting KC versus Real Salt Lake. They'll play December 7th for the Major League Soccer and the MLS title match. This one booted down. They're going to race down the corner here for it. Let's see if Las Lomas can center this for a player. to a teammate and going to be booted away by Northgate. And that was Catherine August racing down to the corner, Michael. Look, she was trying to center it to a teammate, but unfortunately for Las Lomas, the Broncos were there first.
It's really good to hear those Las Lomas fans over there. I think they're adding to the chippiness a little bit of this game, which I think would just be more exciting for us watching.
We're looking for Chippy. Usually they're trying to keep Chippy out of the game, but not here.
There's a little bit of edge that's needed to win these high school games. They're tough. Close game, 1-0. One play could be the difference in the match, or two if Las Lomas can get 2 goals.
And of course, you want to win every game that you play. But when you're playing the crosstown rival, I think usually, and especially when both teams are good, it usually amps things up a bit.
It's important once they get to the NCS seeding.
Corner kick, booted through, score for Las Lomas, and we're tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Las Lomas got more players up. They had too many players for Northgate to deal with, too many players in front for Northgate in front of the goalkeeper, and slick ball gets through the goal.
And I thought that was Gabrielle Brown, number 10. I'd like to see that again.
You can see Coach Jeremy Hull pumped up on the sideline, egging on the student section. I know he's pretty pumped about the U.S. World Cup draw as well. So you can see the Las Lomas girls on the sideline are pumped up.
So until I'm told different, I'm going to give that one to Gabrielle Brown at the 35-22 mark of the second half. And just like that, we are tied at 1 apiece. So you talked about some excitement. There was some excitement right there as Las Lomas gets on the board to knot things up at 1.
Yeah, I think we'll see the game settle a little bit at this point. After the goal scored, the game's tied. The teams can be a little bit more calculated. I think we'll see that a little bit more from Las Lomas and Northgate.
Oh, pretty pass that time coming from Northgate. Las Lomas going to get this one going to the offensive end, kicked ahead, and then a little too far ahead, and that was Gabrielle Brown again. Yeah, and that time just a little bit too hard that time.
As I say that, maybe settling down, you can see Las Lomas sending 4 players forward. Again, the left midfielder or the left forward getting herself forward and playing that ball through. A little slick on the touch, but beyond that, it looks like Las Lomas is attacking just as they did in the first half.
Yeah, they did the start, then they kind of seemed to back away from it a little bit, but came up roses for them so far here in the second half. Kick back. And there's Chanel to pick that one up. So it was Lauren Vala at the 33-36 mark of the first half. Gabby Brown, 35-22 here in the second. And that's where we stand here in the Battle of the Creek, right here on Walnut Creek TV. A 1-1 tie between the Knights and the Broncos. So we're talking about that MLS, title match. And, when you'd watch some of the MLS previous years, Michael, you notice that they were playing on football stadiums. Now, the Earthquakes have got themselves a new stadium, and I understand that the Sporting KC, they've got themselves, the team formerly known as the Wizards, they've got themselves a new facility.
Yeah, they say that the one in Kansas City is the state of the art. It's kind of the model for anybody else that wants to build a stadium, kind of like the AT&T Park of the MLS. And with the Earthquakes coming, there still looks like it's still a couple years away. They've had They've had some complications with what they found underground, but I think that really could add to what
not an ancient Indian burial ground or anything spooky, right?
No, we could only hope. I think the Earthquakes have been playing at a college in an old football stadium for a lot of years, make an intimate setting. But I think
it's the Spartans. Feel right?
They started off in Spartan Stadium, yeah, and now they play at Buckshot Stadium at Santa Clara. It's a great place to watch a game, but not the state-of-the-art Silicon Valley Stadium that I think people are looking for.
Right. I think our crack staff just came up with Levi Stadium. Is that
Levi Stadium where the 49ers are going to play? It's
just, it's one of those things when you talk about major sports, And you see how, football and baseball over this last how many years, it seems like everybody's getting a new facility. And Major League Soccer, they're still playing at these old facilities. It kind of tells you right away the hierarchy of the big sports. But, if you start getting those facilities, you start getting a lot of fans, and you're really warranting that type of thing, it shows a major step up.
Yeah, the more money that's put into the sport, and especially with MLS, I think the product is better in the last 2 or 3 years than it's ever been. The players are getting better. We're getting high-level players from all over the world, and I think it'll only add to the money that comes into these teams so they can afford the stadiums to build them, and backing from their communities as well.
Yeah, ball out of bounds, 31-08. First game ever at the Levi Stadium is going to be played by the Quakes in the 49ers' new park. So that should be a big deal for the Earthquakes and Major League Soccer.
Yeah, to mean the difference between able to get 20,000 and 40,000 if they want, I think.
I mean, I guess I'm, a fiscally conservative individual, and I sometimes think, why do all these different teams need all these different ballparks to play in? But when you go to the baseball-only ballparks as opposed to the multi-purpose stadiums that were so prevalent through the 1970s, you really do see a difference. It's a much better to watch, say, a baseball game at a baseball-only park than a park built for baseball and football. And you would think on a rectangular field, you wouldn't think, a football stadium should be just as good to watch it at a soccer from a football stadium as it would be from anything else.
Yeah, it should. The football field's a little bit smaller than a soccer field, so a lot of it has to do with the space needed for a soccer field. If it was built just for football in, as you say, the 70s or the 80s, I think that a lot of times there's not enough space on the sidelines to really widen the field.
Corner kick upcoming here for Las Lomas. Let's see if one of the ladies can get their head on this one. Tapped around, kicked out. Still in there, kicking. This is going to be off the side of the goal. So threatening is Las Lomas, but they are turned away. And really, Michael, just a tough angle for that shot. You probably would want to center that shot for a teammate.
Could be. It gets a little frantic on those corner kicks, especially on the second ball and all the players inside with looks like a lot of Las Lomas players attacking.
Yeah, this one going to come out of bounds here on the near side. When I was talking to Coach Hull, and he was talking about the draw for the World Cup, we talk about all the great ratings for that. Another thing is, with America, with so many, say, young Latin American men in the country now, they love soccer. And when you get the World Cup going, everybody seems to get it. Even, I get caught up into it quite a bit for World Cup. But, of course, just once every 4 years. And now here's going to have a whistle. Going to kill this one, and Las Lomas going to get a free kick here.
About 30 yards out. I bet Las Lomas has somebody that can strike it on frame. A small wall from Northgate, only 2 players in a wall. A little direction from the goalkeeper. This is going to be tough.
Good chance for the Knights to break this tie. There's a shot going to be off that wall. So stop there and then kicked by. That's going to be well wide to the right. Chanel will give this a chase. I guess the point I was making is that soccer does seem to be picking up momentum right now.
Yeah, our national team is probably better than it's ever been. We got a new coach, Jurgen Klinsmann, who is one of the best players in the world in the mid-'90s. And he's really brought a really more European attitude to our team. And with that, a sense of development for our young players. And I think the domestic league is really important for that in the MLS, and especially the higher levels of players going out into Europe to play as well. Helps our game all over the place.
Now, years ago, I always understood, Michael, that MLS, even though there's obviously a ton of talent at that level, it's a high level of soccer, obviously, but that it did simply not compare with some of the European leagues. Now, how does that stand as of now? Is it, like, for instance, Japanese baseball was considered AAA as far as their comparison to Major League Baseball. Where would you rank MLS soccer as opposed, going to European soccer?
There's a few major leagues. I mean, usually you look at the German league, called the Bundesliga, the Premier League in England. The Spanish league is really good. The Italian league's really good. There's a pretty good collection.
Well, here's one coming out of the net, out of goal that time, kicked up into the air, and then struck away by Las Lomas. But wow, what a good chance that time for Northgate. And this one to be kicked down out of the goal again. This one's going to get away, and this one's going to roll over the goal line. But a couple of very good chances here for Northgate, as Caroline Runco coming out of the goal 2 different times and not coming up with the ball either time. It certainly got the fans interested.
Yeah, we've talked about it a bunch. The slick turf is a little funky.
One racing down the other way. Quickly, Las Lomas back on the offensive end. And this one to be kicked off of Las Lomas, and it's going to go over the goal line. So a free kick upcoming here. Sort of end-to-end action here in the last few moments as we hit down the 25-20 mark here in the second half.
Yeah, there's an energy in this game. You can feel it. You can hear it from the fans. You can see it from the players. The energy's picked up. It's an important match for both of them. They really have to gauge where they stand. This will make a difference in when they do NCS seedings as well, trying to get into the tournament.
Of course, a long way to go for that as the season has really just kicked off this last week or so. Soccer season begins, and already the crosstown matchup coming here for these teams. Of course, these teams not in the same league. It's always kind of odd to me, the 2 Walnut Creek teams not in the same league, but
not in the same league, but in the same division, in the Division 2 in the NCS. And I think for most high school teams, the main goal is to get into the NCS tournament. And I think especially at the Division 2, there's a lot of chance to win it. There's a lot of good teams that if you get hot at the right time can go pretty far. And this Northgate team was only away one win away from the finals. So I think getting into that tournament, playing these teams that are early in the season that are in your division, show really great for the people who seed you against like opponents.
Gabrielle Halakis checking in for Northgate, number 11. This one out of bounds, and from the far side, the Knights will have a chance to throw in here. So both teams have come up with their chances so far, but Gabby Brown, the only goal so far scored in the second half. But the action has seemed a little faster paced so far, and as opposed to the first.
You can see again Las Lomas trying to isolate that left forward. This is something we haven't seen much of, is changing the point of attack from either team, playing it from one side to the other. They're a little bit straight up and down right now.
Across the field, intercepted by the Broncos. And you see, contact, sport. Soccer's not really a contact sport, but you can see the way the ladies body up to each other to get position. You have a chance to get the ball.
I would probably disagree with you about soccer being a contact sport.
Well, you just hear that, and then when you watch the game, you see they're going body to body all the time just to try to get position, not just crashing into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on the field that you can't really totally tell when you're watching the game. I think there's a lot of contact, and spikes don't feel so good on your feet.
No. And getting kicked in the shins doesn't feel real good either.
It doesn't really feel good. I know everybody thinks that soccer players are a little bit dramatic, and they are.
Yeah, they don't have a reputation for toughness. That's for sure.
Yeah, and they are, and we are a little dramatic. But I think with that said, there's
not a whole lot of statistics. It's hard to get noticed. I mean, you got to get some camera time sometime.
That's true. Yeah, sometimes it's tactical. Sometimes you just need to slow the game down for the other team.
And another thing, when they talk about, you can't use your hands on the ball other than, of course, the goalie, but using your hands to get position and to get around other players, like you said, right? I mean, you're going up to head a ball. An opponent might just kind of hold your shirt as you try to jump.
Yeah, there's grabbing and pulling and nudging and elbows up to protect yourself on pretty much every play out here.
There's one kicked ahead. No offsides call there. Runco coming out of the goal, way out of the goal this time. Michael able to get a foot on that to save it. That was a very close chance again.
Yeah, Vala's dangerous. She's quick. She looks like she's a little quicker than their center back, so I think it's a good play to play through her.
She was able to split 2 defenders that time, and the pass was nearly perfect because there was no offsides call that time, but Caroline Runco made the right decision coming out of goal that time. This one kicked, and this will be the side of the goal again.
Yeah, a difficult decision for the goalkeeper to try to figure out when to come out and when to not. Especially with this slick ball, it's probably going to run a little bit closer to her.
Kind of one of those things where it's just really a snap decision as far as, do I stay in, do I come out? And, boy, if you make the wrong decision, you make it look so bad. And if you make the right decision, as she did on that last play, it looks so good.
Yeah, you'll see often goalkeepers second-guess themselves, and that's really when they get in trouble. So you need to be confident. You need to be trained. You need to have lots of practice.
This one booted away by Las Lomas at the last moment. And that time, Northgate had 2 offensive players, only 1 defender that time. I'm trying to see who broke that one up for Las Lomas. That was a critical play right there. Throw in for the Broncos. That looked like an excellent chance for Northgate to score. This one is going to go out of bounds as well. Tough to see who that was, Michael, but that might be one of those critical plays. It's, obviously when the old proverbial won't make it into the box score type of thing, but certainly a play that could determine the outcome of a game.
Yeah.
Down under 20 minutes to go here in the second half. Not had any stoppages so far here in the second frame, and I'll kind of miskick that time. Caroline Lemereau of Northgate looked like she had a chance to really boot that one. It kind of went off the side of her foot, kind of like a shank in football. Caroline didn't play last year, did play her club season, and Coach Kelly thinks that she's one of those players that can really help the Broncos this year. Of course, like so many of the players playing club, and it's if you're a soccer player, most of them really love it because most other sports they don't play year round, and soccer they do. So it's definitely a situation where you get this game into your blood. It's really in there.
Yeah, this is almost a strange way to say it, but this is a little bit of a break for the girls from their club teams. The high school age girls that play at a high level play 10 months out of the year. And then the 2 months or 3 months here. So,
and you think about the other sports, and that is just absolutely unheard of.
No. Yeah, it just doesn't happen in those other sports.
The Knights trying to get this one. Nice body-to-body movement right there to get possession, but taken away quickly. That was a nice play by Catherine August, number 11 of Las Lomas, and a good example of using your body to get position in order to get possession of the ball.
You can see the Northgate side lobbing for the throw-in, pointing, grabbing the ball. Sometimes it works. Sometimes the referees are paying attention to you, but sometimes not. But sometimes it's just good to grab the ball and throw it in and see what happens.
Yeah, maybe they're not paying attention, but chances are they're paying attention. A couple of substitutions coming in here for the Knights, including for the Knights. Kelsey Schott, number 18, entering the game.
Yeah, you'll see some early on in the season, the kids are still getting used to the high school season or the high school soccer, which is a little different than their club. And you'll see a little bit more subbing going on early on in the season here. also the coaches looking for tactical advantages with different personality players.
And Rebecca Dong coming into the ball game, the junior, number 4, entering for Northgate. A 1-1 tie here in the Battle of the Creek. Soccer season getting underway. And a reminder, January the 9th, we'll have boys soccer for you. Clayton Valley Charter against Northgate right here. January the 11th, boys basketball and Battle of the Creek. Broncos against the Knights will be at Las Lomas for that one. So the 9th and the 11th of January, a couple more games coming to you from Walnut Creek TV. So Lauren Vala at the 33-36 mark of the first half. Gabby Brown in the second half at 35-22. All the scoring so far, but there certainly has been a lot more chances and some, end-to-end action here in this game. And that's, I think, what keeps the game really exciting, Michael. Even if you're not scoring a lot of goals, if there are a lot of chances and the ball is not just sort of dead in the middle of the field most of the time. And it certainly has produced a number of chances for both teams. This one booted, and it was just over the crossbar. Oh, a good chance for Northgate. And Runco was there, and she didn't jump for that ball. And that was a good-looking shot coming from Rachel Freed, the junior midfielder, number 22, and just a little bit too high.
It looks like we're going to get a little bit more chances on goal. You can see the midfield is opened up. It's a little bit separated now. It's a little back and forth. I think as the players get a little bit tired, I think getting used to their somewhat new teammates throughout the season, the game's going to start to open up a little bit. It looks like we're going to possibly get some really good chances in this late second half.
Rebecca Freed kicking that one down to the far corner. And the Broncos keeping this one on the offensive end for quite a lengthy period of time as we've gone under 15 minutes now in the rain. As we take another look at it, you can really see a lot coming out of those lights. Coming down pretty hard and, of course, nice and dry up here. There's Las Lomas. That one just did get away. I'm going to chase this one down in the corner. Dump back in.
You can see in the game there's a lot less possession of the ball. I think the rain helps that a little bit. It's a little bit more direct play. I think trying to get the ball forward, seeing if you can get a lucky bounce, a searching ball, something like that. And I think the game's changed a little bit as it goes on.
Here go the Knights looking for that goal to give them the lead. Taken away by Northgate, booted back the other way, and the ladies will chase it to the other side, and this one is going to be knocked out of bounds by Las Lomas. Sadie Miata, the senior, just liking to kick that one out of bounds and let her defense get set up. Another substitution here for Northgate. Megan Schoen re-entering the ballgame. There she is, number 13. Throw in from the far side for the Broncos. Down into the corner. And this one's going to go out of bounds and still belongs to Northgate. And Las Lomas trying to clear, and they do. See if they can get some offense going here, but taken away quickly by Northgate again.
Yeah, the first pass came out great. The second pass not so good, and the Northgate center back came up to stop it. I think that's going to be the tactic for Northgate to stop the counterattack of Las Lomas, which they're looking to do.
Ladies jousting for the ball that time, and Dejiana Darjan able to kick it off one of the Knights. So this will be possession for Northgate. They'll throw it in here. Jessica Dong, the freshman, going to throw it in for the Broncos. 5 freshmen on the Las Lomas team. This one booted forward. Ladies will give chase out of that far corner. This one will roll out of bounds. A 1-1 tie on a wet, chilly night here in Northgate, the Battle of the Creek, right here on Walnut Creek TV. TV comes home. Comcast Channel 28, Channel 26 in Rossmore, Astound Channel 29, and on AT&T Uverse Channel 99. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Walnut Creek TV. TV comes home. Ladies jousting for it. This one dumped in. Kind of pinballs around here. Now Northgate comes out. They've got a little bit of space. This one dumped in and just can't quite get to that offensive player. This one's going to bounce down. Chanel going to come out, boots it away. Chanel way out of the goal that time. Another good decision made by a goalie to come out.
You can see him trying to get the ball in behind the backs a little bit from both teams. It's going to be a little bit tough as the rain comes down a little harder. The field, again, is slicker than it has been all game, so they're going to have to adjust their game to that and maybe put a little bit away from the goalkeeper towards corner flags.
Yeah, it is not misting anymore, Michael. I'm looking down at the track that loops the field, and it's starting to splash down there. Big droplets hitting that ground. It's just getting heavier and heavier out there right now.
Yeah, we've got rain.
Real rain, no mist. Las Lomas on the attack. Good footwork there. Kelsey shot, trying to center in the corner. I think it went out of bounds before she was able to do so, however. And that one belongs to Northgate. But you saw some good moves by Kelsey along the near sideline, working against two defenders that time.
Yeah, she beat two players to get down the line. She's probably looking to serve that ball in a little bit earlier. As soon as she had a tiny opening, she had three players in front of the goal. I think we've got a sub from Las Lomas that puts another strong attacking line. There might be a formation change here. I think this is late in the game. This is kind of tactics come into play from the coaching staff.
Julia Vasquez, number 3, coming back in for Northgate here. And this one going to roll out of bounds. Las Lomas trying to get some offense going, broken up by the Broncos and quickly or almost taken back by the Knights. This one's going to go out of bounds as we take under 9 minutes to go here in the second half.
You can see new forwards in from Las Lomas. Under 10 minutes. A little bit of a rest for these girls to get themselves back into the game with a strong attacking mind.
Here are the Knights. This one to the side of the goal. That went over the goal line, so Chanel Hines will have a chance to boot this one away. And unfortunately kicks this one right out of bounds. That one just really hooked on her that time. She was trying to get over here to the near side. Play it, I believe, to Rachel Freed, but that one had too much English on it that time, and out of bounds it goes.
Yeah, the energy seems to be with Las Lomas right now. Northgate's a little bit shocked by the new players that just came on.
There goes Las Lomas. Haley Brown had a chance there for a moment. Got a goal in her, scored a goal in her first ever varsity game. Had to be very exciting for Haley.
You see 3 or 4 times down, the momentum shifted just a little bit. There's another goal kick. There's another chance, a half chance on goal. I think Las Lomas has got a little bit more of the energy, which I think is helping them.
Have yet to really get a strong play at the goal. They did get Chanel to come way out of the goal on one occasion, but really have not, since they scored on Gabby Brown's goal, have really not gotten what you'd call an excellent chance, but they certainly have been playing the ball more on the offensive end here. This one just goes right by, and Chanel will handle that. Chanel boosts this one away. Dump back the other way. It's 1-on-3. Las Lomas takes it away, but Northgate boots it back. And unfortunately, there are the Knights. They did have 3 players in the offensive end, including, it looked like, number 8, Lauren Valla over here, the forward on the near side, but unable to get the ball to the other side of the field. Is somebody going to get a chance to break the tie? Under 6 minutes to go. This one rolled down and then going to be booted out. No, it's going to stay in.
This is more of the area that Northgate would like the ball, somewhere in that spot right behind the Las Lomas midfield. There's a ton of space in between the midfield and the back line. I think they can exploit it.
Valla, ball missed. She's got a chance, and she boots it. It's going to go off her foot. Looks like she caught it on the side of her foot a little bit and kind of flared off to the right. But that was a good-looking chance as the ball got by a Las Lomas defender, and just for a moment there, it looked like the field was open for the Broncos.
Yeah, Valla looked like she was 1v1, isolated a little bit with the right back from Las Lomas, and missed the shot. But I think that the chance is good. Just to keep the ball on this side might give them a little bit more chances to score.
One of those instances, Michael, where the ball gets by a defender, and all of a sudden there's an offensive player running, if not free, but with a lot of room, and all of a sudden the crowd gets excited. As we've gone under the 5-minute mark now.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the game change again. I think everybody's wants to win this game, or at least from both teams do. I think you'll see a little bit of tactical changes. There might be some formation change. There might be things like that in the last 5 minutes you're really throwing caution to the wind to who wants to win this game and who's okay with this tie.
Broncos trying to make some hay here. Over to Valla. Good-looking footwork right there as ladies go body to body that time. Dumped in. Lauren trying to win the battle and able to get away, but then a whistle.
Mike Kelly's not going to like that one.
Mike very unhappy with it. It looked like Lauren did kind of use her hands to get herself a little position. I think that's why the whistle was blown.
A little position. That wasn't much. For what's going on in this game, that wasn't much.
Of course, so much of that, like basketball, right, Michael, where it's just kind of a judgment call as to whether you use too much or right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they'll obviously let them get away with some, but
it's happening on every play. It's how much advantage you really gain from it is really what happens.
Down, a whistle goes, whistle blown. This will open up some space for Las Lomas here on the free kick.
And this could be dangerous. This ball might be played all the way in.
Kicked away. Knights have a chance here. Booted, and it's going to be knocked away by Chanel. The shot on goal came, but Chanel Hines able to block that one away. Nicely played by Chanel Hines. Tough chance for her that time. We talked about that she got so many routine plays. That one was certainly not routine, and she made the save there. So a key save for Chanel Hines as the game remains tied here as we move under 2.5 to play here in the Battle of the Creek. This one out of bounds, and looks like it's going to be off of Northgate. So Las Lomas will have a chance to kick it out here in the corner.
Yeah, this will be important for the Broncos to get a good clearance out. Not like the last one. They have to make sure that they clear this high and wide.
Corner kick upcoming for Las Lomas. Here it is. This one headed away. Looked like one of the Broncos got up there and got their head on it first, knocking it across the line on the other side. I think Las Lomas is going to keep this one as well.
Yeah, actually, I think the goalkeeper put 2 fists up and punched that out.
Oh, okay.
Not a tall girl, but she got up there strong. She looked very confident.
Another good play by Chanel Hines. She's made a couple of them. As the clock has stopped with 2 minutes, so we're going to be into the extra time. But not too many stoppages here tonight, so there shouldn't be a whole lot extra as they keep the time on the field. So basically this one could end any moment here. This one is going to be well to the left over the line, and a goal kick up coming for Chanel.
Yeah, we'll probably see the ball dumped in a lot at the end of the game, pressing forward. Ball's looking a little bit longer, trying to challenge on that first one and looking for that second one to come down.
So time of the essence here. Las Lomas trying to make good use of the time, and this one is going to be centered and going to be wide to the right. Well, they had an offensive player down as it was dumped in. That was Gabrielle Brown, who got the goal that last time, and Chanel Hines going to her left as that ball was just a bit wide to the right.
Yeah, everybody's in for Las Lomas. Corner kicks so dangerous at the end of the game.
Well, they've had a couple of these recently here, but as of yet we have not seen on a corner kick, Michael, an offensive player really get a strong header on one of these. This one is going to be low, and first contact made by the Broncos.
You can see the little adjustment that Coach Mike Kelly put another player in the zonal space in front of the goal. Las Lomas looked trying to attack the near post.
Another corner kick. This one a little bit higher. Can somebody get a head on it? No, it looked like it was Chanel. This one is knocked around and knocked away. It looked like Chanel came out and got the first touch on that one that last time.
Yeah, 2 big fists again.
So Chanel has played extremely well here in this last couple of minutes. Made a couple of one key save, and able to knock a couple more away.
Coach Mike Kelly not going to be happy about that. It's an offside call. It's an offside call, and maybe they could have had an advantage. And now it looks like they're pointing for Northgate, I assume. Las Lomas thinks it's their ball, but it's not.
So this is a break for Northgate at least, because Las Lomas has really been on the attack the last several minutes. Now will Northgate get a final chance? Booted away by Las Lomas. Back to the middle of the field. Broncos trying to keep it in that offensive end. Whistle blows again, and that is going to do it. This ball game is going to end in a tie. Everybody walking onto the field here, and Mike Kelly out there looking for an explanation. And actually just shaking hands with the officials. Okay. There he goes. So a 1-1 tie. The final here. It was Lauren Vala at 33-36 of the first half. Gabby Brown at 35-22 here in the second. But it looked to me like in the last several minutes, it was really a situation where Chanel was playing so well in goal there for Northgate, even though Las Lomas really dominated the action for those last several minutes.
Yeah, it was a tough ending. I think for Las Lomas, I think they had a lot of chances. They just didn't get quite that final ball that was good enough for them to score. But seemed to push a lot of players forward, which I think is going to help them going forward throughout the season.
So Chanel Hines was definitely big. Made that one save on that shot on goal and was able to punch away a couple of corner kicks. So she really was outstanding in goal here in those last few minutes. Well, that'll do it here for us here on Walnut Creek TV. A reminder, next game, January the 9th, we'll have boys soccer, Clayton Valley Charter against Northgate. We'll be back here for that one. January the 11th, boys hoops, Northgate at Las Lomas. For all of us here at Walnut Creek TV, for Michael Hofford, I'm Anthony Schultz saying so long from Northgate High School.